that.
Well, they must be after you because the sirens are coming.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're off to take me away.
Yeah.
Ha, hee, hee. You remember that old song?
Not really.
No?
No, not really. Maybe if I heard it. Yeah. It could be. Yeah.
They're off here to take me away today. Ha, hoo, hee, hee, ha, ha.
We're always off on a weird note, guys. I know, right? We always start our videos a little crazy, but hey, right? We can be how we want to be. That's the cool thing about being who you're going to be. Is you can do
crazy is as crazy does.
You can be, yeah, and it doesn't matter what people think. If they think we're crazy, well, so be it, right? But anyway, guys, welcome back to my coffee break conversations.
Feeling so lonely.
And today I'm actually drinking a protein drink. I thought I needed that because it's been so hot, and after I do my workouts and everything, I'm just like, oh, so I need to replace it. And I'm drinking a protein drink today, so that's pretty good so far. And yeah,
that happened.
Yeah. So this week has been hot, to say the least, guys. Hot. I mean, yeah. But we're in the Southwest. That's expected. I mean, we always usually get... Although this year has been a little strange for where we are. It's been a little interesting, to say the least. But anyway, guys, welcome back. And before I get started, I want to let you know, on my YouTube channel here, and for those of you who watch this on Facebook or actually go to my YouTube channel, when you go to my YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe. That way you get these videos, you get updates on when I do the new videos.
Make sure to click the bell to receive all the updates.
To click the bell, to receive all the updates and everything. If you have comments, guys, let us know in the comments section. You can see this on Facebook. Like I said, I'm getting ready. I have my Instagram up. I've had my Instagram up for quite a while. But you guys, I think the address is on there too on the YouTube channel. You can get to, I think it is, right?
On the YouTube channel, yes.
Yeah, if you look down below, you'll see my Facebook.
Descriptions of the videos.
Yeah, Instagram. You can connect with me on Instagram. I have some different things on there. So yeah, feel free to connect with me on social media. So with that being said, today I thought it would be good to talk about personal development, growth, and your shadows. And you're probably sitting there going, what? Shadows? What shadows?
The ones that follow you around all day.
The ones that follow you around all day, not the ones outside, okay? And, you know...
Not the ones that appear when the sun hits you.
Yeah.
Even though those do follow you around. Yeah,
they do. But, you know, more like mental, emotional shadows. You know, those things that tend to haunt you and just come back and consume you into, like, nothingness. Those kind. Yeah, I know. But I had done a segment, it's been a while back. We did a segment on personal development, our recommendations for personal development books. And if you haven't watched that, you can go back into my YouTube channel and see that. But I did talk, I talked a little bit about personal development, but I wanted to actually get in a little more detail on that today, because personal development is one of those subjects. It can be very broad, right? I mean, there's so much, especially nowadays in the online space, especially in the coaching arena, the coaching area. Excuse me. You hear a lot about personal development. And if you guys ever been in MLM or anything like that, you probably already heard about personal development. And it is a really, really good thing to get into, but you've got to not go crazy, because when I first started, I had this tendency to want to consume, and just try to like get all this stuff in my head at one time, when all I did every time I would do like some sort of personal development, I would get down on myself and I would have my shadows come and haunt me back. And I think what I'll do is just kind of go here on a story. I had no idea what personal development was. Oh, back when I very first started in the MLM space, I never heard of what it was. And I was told, well, you need to do personal development. I'm like, what is that? What the heck is personal development? You know, I didn't know. Because, you know, we're not really taught those kind of things in society. We're not really taught how to improve ourselves, per se. We're not taught to how to improve our minds, improve our thoughts, improve our mental state. Everybody gets into the physical realm where, you know, exercise, fitness, that's out there like all the time, but nobody really goes into the mental health and emotional health side of it. So, yeah, I didn't know what it was. And I started reading these books, and I think, you know, at first I was like, well, this is a bunch of BS. You know, literally. I used to think that personal development was a bunch of BS after I got to learn it, and I read some books, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need that crap, whatever. You know, I'm fine. I'm fine the way I am. Yeah. And that's what I thought, right? But see, again, the corporate world didn't teach you that. I definitely did not do personal development in the corporate world at all. Who knew? You don't know what you don't know. So, as I got into it, there was a lot of things I found that just didn't seem to resonate, and then there was things that resonated with me, but I didn't know how to improve myself. I didn't know how to grow with it, you know, grow myself, because you could sit there and you could read personal development books all day long and still not improve and not get anywhere in life. And that is usually because a couple of things. You're consuming too much and you're not implementing what you're learning. You're not taking the value from that and implementing it actively in your life. And number two, a lot of times we don't know where to begin, or we get what I call paralysis of analysis. We get to reading stuff and our minds just go, huh?
In a way, there's a third thing.
What?
Misunderstanding what's being said.
Or, yeah, misunderstanding or not getting what is being said.
Well, what I mean by misunderstanding what is being said is taking the meaning of the words wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Where, you know, someone says, look to your inner being, blah, 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 and you're sitting there like, my inner being, what? My inner, you know.
Your innards.
My innards, my guts, my inner what? You know, look inside, you know.
Yeah.
And when it's, when the, you know, the phrase, look to your inner being, means to look to your inner self, that little voice inside you that says, hey, this ain't right, or hey, that sounds good, or, you know, things like that. Your inner voice, your inner self. Okay, being in touch with your inner self just means literally being in touch with your inner self, like, your inner person, like
your intuition, your heart, your soul, what it's telling you. And it's a voice you have to really hone in on. You have to really listen to that, because if I know for me, like if I get too busy with something and I get all in my head, right, I can't hear that voice. I don't hear it because I'm doing all the things and I'm in my head and I don't hear it. And a lot of the times you have to settle yourself, and when they say that, you have to kind of quiet your mind and quiet yourself and really hone in on what are you feeling, like that doesn't feel right, or
and it's not just the inner self or anything like that. That's not the only one that I'm getting at here. You can easily misunderstand anything that's being said.
Yeah.
Shut up. Step back and take it in the context, what they're writing about, the point that they're trying to get across, not what you're assuming is happening. You know, you don't get the full thing by reading half the paragraph and saying, I know what they're saying. No, you do not. Shut up. Open your ears, or, listen to the audiobook. Get what they are saying. Not what your cocky self is trying to say. What they are saying. You don't do this when you're reading a piece of fiction. You never do this because those are different characters. They are portraying themselves to you. You don't sit there and put yourself and assume what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this with personal development books?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Let's get real, people. Get your cocky self out of it.
Yeah. And
it's about their point, not your cockiness.
Yeah. And I think, too, you got to resonate with it. I mean, like, I have learned in the coaching space, I have learned take what you want and leave the rest. So if there's something that just don't feel right to you, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just it's not right for you.
At that moment.
Yeah, let that go. And maybe down the road, as you grow and as you learn and as you start implementing. And see, that's the big thing, is implementing and taking action on it. I know when I first started reading different books and everything, there was a lot of things that were missing. There was a lot of things where you have to actually take the action steps, into your life.
To get it.
Yeah, to get it. It's not just read it and pray that the universe will just bless you with everything you ever want in life without taking action, guys. And that's everything. That's everything that we do as human beings. You can think something all day long and pray that the money will come in your bank account. You're saying, oh, I throw it up to the universe that the money's going to come in my bank account. I thought it, and it's true. And you go there and your bank account is like zero. Why is that? It's not. It is because you're not taking action to make the money come in, right? You need to take the step forward to create the space for that money to come in.
Here's a psychological little twist. By sitting there, some people have this psychological shutdown when it comes to doing things. They're afraid of what's going to be said or whatever. But the studies have shown that people, the study was, the person is going to say something, and the staff, that where they're at has to make it happen,
Yeah.
Well, once that the person was told that, then they said the staff will make it happen. It may not be right away. It may be right away. It may be whatever. But here's what happens psychologically. By knowing that it's going to happen, and they just say it's going to happen and let it go, what ended up happening is the staff wasn't doing crap to one half of, for one half of the study group, and for the other half, they took care of things,
Yeah.
It made no difference. It still happened.
But there had to be action somewhere. Yeah.
They did the action of actually, what ended up happening is they said, I want this to happen. Well, the study group, what they found is the ones that said, I want this to happen, they knew it was going to happen. So they just went out and did the action.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah.
The other group said they wanted that to happen. It was done for them, and they were continuously confused.
Yeah, because it was something that was done for them. There's a big difference.
They were constantly confused.
Yeah.
And they found they were wishing for the same thing over and over and over again, because they did not internalize that it actually happened.
Yeah. When actually it had
already happened.
Yeah. And that's so true too. I mean, when
they let go, they did it.
Yeah. And it could be too that like there, you know, like blocks in your head, you know, like things around money blocks. And I'm not going to get into like money blocks, so that's not this subject. But
is that like building blocks?
Yeah, building money blocks. Yeah.
Lincoln logs. Oh Lord, I'm saying my age.
Yeah. Well, I think people here already know our age, you know, and that's okay. You know, whatever to you guys. But I mean, yeah, and you know, like when you. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. No, I just... Okay. Yeah, well, like with personal development, like, you know, going back to personal development, it does take effort on your part. Now, also, too, what I have discovered is if you're in alignment with your purpose, and I know this is a little bit off the subject, but not too, but if you have found that you're in alignment with something and something aligns with you and it's right there, it's an easier effort to get things moving, and it almost happens automatically. Like, if you're in alignment, like for me, being in alignment as, like, for life coaching, right? I didn't know this years ago, but now I'm in alignment with that, and all of a sudden I get all these ideas that just pop into my head, like, automatically. I'll be doing something else, totally different, like cleaning house, making dinner, doing a post, I don't know, whatever it is. And I will just, an idea will just boom, pop into my head about, oh, wow, this would be so cool to implement into the program or into my book or into whatever. And so when you open that space up and you're in alignment, that space, you allow that to happen, you will start getting these ideas that come to you. Now, if I take those ideas and I do nothing with them, right, and I just sit here and I do nothing with them, like writing my book is not going to write itself. I mean, that would be kind of nice if that'd be kind of nice if your book can write itself, right? But the book is not going to write itself. I have to be the one to write the book. But the ideas were inspired by me creating the space mentally and aligning myself with what I want to do. And so it almost is like effortless in a way. I don't know. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about.
Well, you begin to embrace. You know, you begin to say, hey, this is awesome. This is me. This is what I'm doing.
And it's a passion. And when it gets like that, it doesn't feel like effort. It doesn't feel like work. And things kind of flow smoothly. Now, does that take away the fact that there might be bumps in the road and problems that come up and challenges? No, because that's life. We just have to figure a way when we get to that point and we are at a crossroads or an obstacle that we hit. We have to really, you know, for personal development, we can't just say, oh, I hit an obstacle. Oh gosh, oh my goodness, this isn't going like I want. And then you stop and you come to a brick wall and you just sit there. That's not going to actually get anything done. And I don't care how much you wish upon it. If you're at a block and you stop, then all that stuff starts to, like, then you start bringing in your shadows. Okay, that's a good way to bring in this. Like, what your shadows are basically your fear. Picture, like, okay, this is kind of weird. Picture like a little person on your one shoulder, and, you know, like, your negative self on this side and your positive self on this side. That's the way. Okay, this side of you comes in and you're getting ready to, like, create this program. Let's just say you're in, you know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be business related. It can be personal life too. But for example's sake, I'm just going to go say you're making a product for your business, an informational product or a program of some kind. And you're all ready to write this program. You got all these ideas. You're in that space in your mind that you know you can do this. You get ready to create your program, and this little person pops up over here, whispering in your ear, going, "You can't do this. You know you've had many failures in life. You've failed many times. Look at your past." And you get all these things from the past start coming up for rejection, people telling you you can't do it, people saying bad crap about you. you saying stuff about yourself, well, every time I try to do this, I failed. Every time I've done this, it just messed up. And all these shadows from the past just start consuming you. And this person, just whispering in your ear, right? And you're sitting there going, wow, they're right. They're right. I can't do this. I'm not good enough to do this. I failed so many times. What's going to happen again? I'll fail again. Like I said the other day in one of the Facebook Live, if you guys listen. So what if you fail again? You will fail again. But don't look at it as a negative thing. Look at it as growth. The failing at something is actually growth in progress. You're growing as long as you allow the space to grow.
Look at it this way. You're in good company. Benjamin Franklin, the guy that invented the light bulb, changed everybody's life. You know, you could see now in your home at night.
Yep.
Without having to light a candle and smoke yourself. Okay?
Catch stuff on fire.
Set things on fire,
yeah.
You know, all fun stuff like that. He invented the light bulb. They asked him, how does it feel to have so many failures making the light bulb? And he's all, I have not failed. He said, you know, he gave the actual number like 1,000 times or whatever.
So, yeah.
I have not failed 1,000 times. I have learned 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. All I need to learn is that one way to do it.
Right.
So take your failure as a learning experience, and it's no longer a failure. Mm-hmm. The only failure is if you fail to learn.
Right. And that's where you get stuck. If you fail to learn from it, you're doomed to repeat it over and over and over and over, and you have to break the cycle. So, yeah, failure is the big one that stops people. So, yeah, back to the person on the side that I was telling you is whispering all these things in you, saying you can't do it. And then the growth part of it is if you change your perspective and change your mindset and really look at it from a different way, is this person on this side is whispering to you, no, you've got this. You can do it. You have it in you. You've always had it in you. It is there for you to bring out. It is there for you to use. Remember you guys, me telling you, you have everything already inside you? But you have to be the one to create the space for that. And when you're on that creative mindset and you're in that zone, and you know when you're in the zone, guys. If you haven't experienced it already, I know when I'm in the zone. When you're in the zone, on that side, you're most creative. Your growth can be exponential. Your growth you can grow like very quickly. Things can get done very quickly. The income can start coming in very quickly. And even in other areas of your life that you apply personal development to, it's not just for business. I like to go back to certain things with business because of what I've experienced, but this can also be for any area of your life. If you open that space up and you're in that zone, you can create so many wonderful things in your personal life. Again, your relationships, your social life, your spiritual life. But you have to allow for it. If your mind is shut off for any expansion, any personal development whatsoever, you're going to stay stagnant. You're going to stay where you are. You're going to remain comfortable. Okay? I know. You guys hear me say this all the time. And, I think growth is not always easy. Growth is really, sometimes it can happen, like I said, very quickly. Growth can happen. And sometimes growth is a gradual thing. Sometimes we have to learn a lot. I know I've had to learn a lot, okay? And certain areas of my life have been very slow in the growth. Even now, I'm growing every day. And I'm learning every day. And if you open yourself up to that, like I said, and quantum leaps, like Mark Hoverson, we were listening to back with his one of his podcasts, we were listening to, and he was talking about quantum growth in your business and your life, and allowing for things to happen, allowing yourself to open up and, you know, really start looking inward with yourself. And I love the way he explained it. He has actually such a really good way of explaining it. I think better than I do, but there are so many things that we as humans have so much we can offer. But if we don't practice personal development in some way, and I'm not saying you guys go out and just start reading all the books and doing all the things and everything, find something that really aligns with you. And when you find something that aligns with you, like for us, again, Mark Hoverson, he aligned with me like right off the bat, like bam. The first time I heard him, it just clicked, something clicked in me. Where before I would read different stuff and everything, and I could feel it, but I didn't have this like massive click of just, oh my gosh, this is in alignment with what I want or what I feel. But he did. And everything, when I started really listening to him with his personal development, it just opened up a flow in me. It was like something just went, and it like opened up. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta hear more. And that's the kind of thing. And if that don't happen for you, that's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. You will find something. Even if you take a little nugget from just little, you know, you read a personal development book, or you listen to a podcast, or, you know, a video or whatever. And even if you just take just one nugget from that, it doesn't have to be everything. But if just one thing stood out to you and really just hit you right here in the heart, you know, like just got you, that right there can make a significant change if you apply that. And that's what I found over the years. When I look back on where I was, you know, before the personal development and I found a lot of different nuggets to take with me, different things that just really resonated with me. And those changes sometimes happen automatically. Like, we don't know it. There's things that has happened that I don't really realize until I look back and go, oh, wow. You know, I mean,
look back and go,
this is interesting.
Oh. Now, on a little side note to that, the little changes, or, you know, the little items, little whatever, does not have to be earth-shaking.
No,
these little things, we call them little because they are little. Mm-hmm. It's a small little thing that creates a difference in your way of thinking. Are they big things? No. Are they, you know, indescribable things? No, they're highly, you know, they're highly describable. They're highly learnable. It's just, it's something that you haven't learned.
Yeah.
It's something that it's new to you just because it hasn't been presented to you. That's why it's new to you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I mean, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be this huge earth-shattering moment. It can be. I mean, for some people, it can be. There are some people that it could just, you know, it could be just like the biggest thing ever. And that's why I said quantum growth and quantum leaps in your life and your business can happen very subtly, subtle. Is that a word? Subtle, very subtly.
Yeah, subtly.
Yeah. Or it can happen in just big, huge amounts, or anywhere in between. It's not right or wrong. Each person is individual.
Or as loud as a bulldozer coming through your front door.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I've had a little bit of both. I mean, I've had very subtle, small changes, like I said, that I didn't even realize I was doing. And then there were times where, bam, I just had an earth-shattering moment, just a big...
Epiphany.
Oh, yeah, epiphany, there you go. That just opened up, that I've never seen before. To the point of bringing me into tears of joy and happiness that I've never had before. It was really interesting. And not everyone's going to have that experience, and that's okay. You know, everybody, like I said, everyone's going to have a different experience. In personal development, we're always learning, we're always growing, we're always at different levels. So don't, like, compare yourself
to anyone.
Because that, again, your shadows come up. If you start with that comparing crap, and I did it, I've done it all the time, and admittedly, guys, I still find myself doing that.
She's very competitive.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
I've still found myself doing that, you know. And so you have to kind of stop yourself and go, wait, you know, you have to bring it to an awareness of comparing yourself to others. Like, oh, well, they have all this, or they have all that experience. Oh, yeah, well, I can't do that because they have how many years of this behind them, or they have the big email list. I don't. They have this, blah, blah, blah. They have everything. And then you put them up on, like, this pedestal, and you're looking up to them like, I will never reach that point where you are. And let me bring something to you.
And then once you learn how they got where they are, you're going to realize that little pedestal you put them on is nothing more than a house of cards.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, the other day...
You're the one that put them on that thing.
Right. The other day, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about this sort of thing, that we're always looking to leaders. We're always looking up to people. Like when we're about to do something in our life or our business, it's okay to get advice. It's okay to get ideas and inspiration from other people. We're not saying that. But to sit there and put them on a pedestal and put them up really high and down yourself
is wrong.
Exactly. And that's where your shadows come in. Here's the person on this side saying they're better than you are. They have all these things with it. You don't. And then you sit there and go, oh, you're right. I don't have all the experience that they do. I don't have all the money that they do. I don't have blah, blah, blah. Right?
Well, the funny thing is with the experience, what do they have that you don't? Knowledge. The experience they have, you don't. You can always get that experience.
Yeah.
You can always get that knowledge. None of this is denied to you.
No.
You just got to work, hunt, and find it.
Right. And see, I got into a thing where for a while I was getting into and I mean, I like to listen to podcasts. I listen to podcasts a lot because I love doing that. I love being in that energy of someone. I love being, because it gets me inspiration, it gets me inspired, and it opens up new ideas. However, if all doing it for that reasons are fine, but if all you do is sit and consume and consume and consume and consume all this information and never do, that is where your personal development is just going to go, and you're not going to get anywhere.
You're not developing at that point.
You're not, no. So listening to podcasts, yes, I plug in the podcasts often, but what I have learned is I do that because it gets me in that space with the like-minded people. I like being in the like-minded people realm and the positive-minded people and those type of people, because it helps. Versus if you're around people, and you've heard me say this before, guys, if you're around people that are always down and always depressed and always sad and always mad and frustrated and aggravated and life stuff, like that last video I did, you're going to be like that too. So that's why I stay plugged in, because I love being in that energy with people that are like-minded, that have that ball of fire in them. I do it for those reasons. But I used to do it for the comparable. And like I said, I still find myself doing that at times. I'll go, yeah, well, that's great. You have all that, I don't. I'm comparing myself to you, and
the sad part is you can get the same thing they have.
Like, you know, I don't look like them. I don't talk like... Oh, well, of course not, guys. And here's the thing about that.
What are you, a clone?
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. What I have learned is you are an individual. You are meant to be you, not anybody else. You're not going to look like them. You're not going to have the same success level as them. You're not going to talk like them and everything else. You might pick up sayings from them, but you're not going to be like them. Why? You're you. And each individual brings their own energy to the space. Each individual brings their own personality to what they're doing. And that is enough right there. We don't, especially women have a very hard time with this because we compare ourselves to other women. Right? For those women out there watching, right? Okay. So, and it's harder for us, I think, than for, I mean, I don't know, speaking from a man's point of view, but speaking from my point of view, it's hard because we're more in tune with that, right? And it's like we have to stop ourselves and go, no, I don't need to justify. I don't need to compare myself to someone else. I can have everything that they have, but in my own way. Do it my way. You do it your way. And you hear my saying, you do you. I know, guys, you're going to get sick and tired of me saying that. But it's so true. In fact, here's the little story. I was talking to someone the other day on Facebook, and it was an interesting subject. We were kind of just chit-chatting, you know, not really anything big. And it was kind of a joking thing. It was a serious conversation, but it had jokes in between, so it was like nothing negative. It was just a conversation. And for some reason, we got to talking about jobs and, you know, making an income and everything, and how things are going with our lives and stuff. And I made a couple of comments. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm writing a book, and I'm getting ready to do all this. And then all of a sudden, this person comes up and says, well, I have a good job. I have all the money. I'm making all this. I'm doing all that. I help people. I have it all. Blah, 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 blah. Well, they didn't say I have it all, but, you know, they were talking about all these things, which is fine. You know, good for them. I'm happy for people that are happy. Okay? If it makes them happy, that's awesome, because that means that's where they're supposed to be. It's not right or wrong. It's not a bad thing. And I didn't see it was a bad thing, but what was interesting is I actually didn't, you know, people a lot will feel triggered by something, and usually I get really triggered by, I used to get triggered by things like that. But I was sitting there going, why are you doing this? Why are you justifying yourself to me with, I mean, did they have to hear it and hear it themselves to justify for what they're doing? I mean, why were they doing that with me? I don't know. And it's like, I took it as, okay, maybe they need to get it out there. Maybe they needed to get that out of their system, you know. And I just replied to them, I'm happy for you. If that makes you happy, that's great. You know, me personally, that is not where I want to be. Me personally, I have already found my passion and true purpose. And I really don't give a crap what people think or say or do about what I'm doing. Like, if you don't like what I'm doing, that's fine. And I think the personal development part that comes into that is being able to own that and being able not to get triggered by when someone comes at you like, well, hey, I have this, 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 and this, and what do you have? Nothing?
Well, and that's part of being happy with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You got to be happy with yourself. You got to be happy with what you're doing.
Right.
Otherwise, you're
going to be miserable.
You're going to have a hard time with justifications.
Yeah. Like
why you're still at that, whatever you're doing. Yeah. Why this, that, and the other thing. That people will also, some people will also do the exact same thing as what you're describing as a way to, they don't think that you're getting anywhere with what you're doing, or you know, they think that you can do better, okay? Or they, you know, in their eyes, they know you can do better.
Yeah.
Okay? they just don't understand what you are doing at this moment.
Yeah, and
so they could do it out of caring, okay? They're sharing their experiences with their work life because they care about where you are, how you are, and where you're going to be in the future. Where you are and where you're going. That's the big thing. And they'll do that for that reason.
Yeah.
Is it a bad reason? No. That's a completely honest, honorable, and good reason.
But they may not see, a lot of people don't see the inner work that needs to be done. I mean, they're just seeing it from an outside. They're just seeing it from an outside perspective. They don't know exactly what you've gone through, and they're not you, so their perspective is different than what you do. So, like, for me, I see a growth change where they may not, and that's okay. And sometimes people do it for different reasons. And what I think is what I've learned is, from a personal development perspective, is don't be focused on what someone else thinks. Yeah, they might be doing it for good intention or bad intention. It doesn't matter. If you sit there and worry about that, and let it bug you, it's like, then, that's on you. And so I just look at it as like, they're not me. They don't really know everything that's gone on. They don't know exactly the kind of stuff I have gone through. Toby knows, because he lives with me. We live together, husband and wife. We know the kind of things and growth that we've had to encounter and the challenges we've had to overcome. And for some people, they can't see that. And it's not meant for them to see.
Well,
it's not meant for them to see.
They don't live with you, so they will not see it.
Yeah.
They will not see it. They will not see what you've gone through.
Right.
They will not see what you've done. If they see you reading a book, all they know is you're reading a book. Unless they ask, what is that book? What's it about? Blah, blah, blah. Actually get curious about it.
Yeah.
They won't know.
And
they won't get it.
Sometimes, so guys, and it all ties into just personal development, where you are in your life, what triggers you, what doesn't trigger you. Like for me, like I said, anymore, it's like, I'm not going to worry about that. I don't need to justify to anyone. I don't need to get approval from people for what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. I don't need that. Okay, we are individuals, and we shouldn't have to get into that self-justification mode where we justify everything.
To everybody.
To everybody, yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope this has kind of helped a little bit. You get a different perspective on personal development, your shadows, your growth. The biggest thing, I think, is when you're in this process of, because we're always in a process of growing and learning, if we allow it, is not to bring yourself down. Allow yourself compassion through this. Allow yourself love through this. Through the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, through all of it, right? Just allow yourself to grow. And
allow yourself to understand that, the people that love you are trying, they genuinely try to help you in their own way. And it's never a bad thing that they're trying to help you, but they don't understand.
Yeah,
so they may not be that big of a help.
Yeah, they may not understand. And that's the thing, guys, it's not that we shut people out or anything like that. It's just, if it doesn't feel right and it doesn't resonate with you, just let that go. I've had, and like, guys, if you're about your day and your business, one other thing here, and people are coming at you either from a place of love, compassion, jealousy, sometimes even family and friends and people that love and care for you it's usually in good integrity, usually for good reasons, because again, they care for you, they want to see you succeed. But sometimes it triggers them. sometimes if they see you on another area of life, getting, not on the regular path that everyone else is following, and they see you kind of going, and especially when you start succeeding and you start bringing in whatever you're doing and you start succeeding in your life and your business, sometimes that's a trigger for people because they get jealous. And they're never going to admit it to you. But if they're miserable in their own lives, they're going to try to boast themselves up so they feel better, so they don't feel as bad. That can happen too. I've seen both directions. But most of the time, like I said, just stay focused.
If they're friends and family, for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part, they can be doing it out of love and everything.
Yeah.
That's friends and family. But if you have, okay, let me amend that. Immediate friends and family.
Yeah.
Let me amend that. Immediate friends and family. Because there are extended in your families that let's face it, there's always black sheep.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get real. There's always a black sheep out there.
That's true.
So let's just go with yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, hopefully, again, this has been helpful. I know we went on a little long here, but again, another passionate subject: personal development, growth, your shadows. They all work together, and you really have to just keep growing every day. Be open to new things. Be open to creating the space for yourself so you can grow and you can learn and you can succeed. Know that you can do it despite what others think, despite what others out there try to think or do. Know in your heart, in yourself, that you can do it and you have the ability to do anything you want as long as you put your mind and heart and soul into it. So, unless you had anything else, I think...
The only limit in life is you.
It's you, right. You're the only one that's limiting yourself, or not. Right? So, anything else?
There's no worse critic than yourself.
Yeah, that's another good point. That's actually true. You're your own worst critic, which I will be doing another segment about your critic, your inner critic, at some point here soon. But we'll get into that another day.
Yeah.
That's another story for another day. So, guys, okay, you guys take care. I think we're going to close off for now. Have a really wonderful weekend. Get out there. Stay cool. If it's hot like it is here, stay cool. And we'll see you guys again soon on another one of my coffee break conversations. Bye-bye, everybody, and take care.